I'd like to open up the 122nd annual meeting of the Pennsylvania Municipal League. At this time, we will welcome the combined honor guard from the City of Lancaster and Manheim Township Fire Departments.
Pennsylvania Municipal League and the League's mission is to strengthen, empower, and advocate for effective local government. And we do that in a variety of ways: training, advocacy at the state and federal level for legislation. We have programs and services. It's all about local government. That's what we are.
This week, we're having our annual Municipal Leadership Summit. So this includes the Pennsylvania Municipal League. It also includes the Pennsylvania State Association of Township Commissioners, and it includes the career fire chiefs of Pennsylvania.
Hi, I'm Governor Tom Wolf. Welcome to the Pennsylvania Municipal League Municipal Leadership Summit. It is my pleasure to welcome all municipal officials from cities, boroughs, and townships to this year's summit. And thank you to the Pennsylvania State Association of Township Commissioners and the Career Fire Chiefs for joining us. Municipal officials do hard, important jobs, and your work only got harder during the pandemic. Thank you for your work over the past year and a half to protect your communities and help our Commonwealth get back on track. And thank you for your active advocacy on behalf of everything from COVID-19 relief to infrastructure. I also want to send a special thank you to Executive Director Rick Schuettler, who is retiring after 8 years as the League's director. Thank you all for everything you do, and I hope you have a very successful summit.
We're delighted to be hosting you in our vibrant, historic, diverse, and welcoming city that is Lancaster. We are so glad that members of the Pennsylvania Municipal League and Pennsylvania State Association of Township Commissioners are here together for the first time since March 2020. And while you're here, please enjoy the restaurants and shops downtown, including Central Market. Take a walk and enjoy the vibrant streetscape, architecture, parks, and green infrastructure you see along the way. Introduce yourself to our residents and employees and make some new friends while you're here. The City of Lancaster is a proud member of PML, and we look forward to the conversation, education, and connections that will elevate our work to strengthen, empower, and advocate for effective local government.
Local use of radar. We are the only state in the nation, in Pennsylvania, where local police cannot use radar. And we think it's just one of those antiquated things that you can't get over the finish line. And we've been working very hard with a coalition to do that. We move closer and closer. It's in the House now, but we'll just have to see whether we can get it over the finish line or not. But we think it's ridiculous that, police officers that are trained professionals at the local level can't use a radar gun.
Local use of radar is frankly a no-brainer. Pennsylvania is the last state in the United States of America to trust our police officers with 1960s technology to help control speeders in our neighborhoods. It's ridiculous that we have waited this long, and we're trying to push to help the legislators understand this is not a financial issue for local communities. This is about safety. We know in communities like mine, in York, in the city of York several years ago, and since, that there have been terrible tragedies with people speeding, a tractor trailer plowing through a traffic signal, actually killed a local business person who just happened to be sitting there waiting for the signal to change. And that's one of the spots the local police told us we could help control the speed in that area if we had the local use of radar. Right now, if police want to do a radar session for a certain section of the highway or a roadway, they have to bring in the state police to do that. Well, that's not an easy process. The state police are not always available to help make that happen. So this has been a long time issue, and frankly, it's one that we really should have support from both sides of the aisle in the House and the Senate in Harrisburg.
This is an issue that we at the Pennsylvania Municipal League have been working on for a number of years. We're hopeful that going forward we'll be able to have that ability for a lot of our towns, villages, and communities around the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to be able to use radar for local enforcement, for public safety. It's very important for us at the local level to be able to have this type of measure to help keep our community safe.
Speed on the city streets has become really overbearing, and all of our residents call about it all the time. I don't understand. We're the only state in the entire country that doesn't allow local police officers to use radar. It's not a funding issue because the state will make a lot more money, 3 times as much as the city makes on a ticket. So I don't understand it, but We're trying really hard. We're really close.
It's a public safety issue that, a lot of residential neighborhoods are 25-mile-an-hour zones, and, with various issues, it's very related to those neighborhoods. It's hard to run VASCAR in those neighborhoods, so radar would really give the ability to our municipal police officers to be able to do more enforcement in residential neighborhoods, where there are challenges.
Every neighborhood that I walk through and talk to residents, speeding is one of the top 3 concerns. And we need to have tools in the toolbox for our police to be able to enforce the law. And we're the only state in the country that doesn't allow municipal police this tool, and it's time for change.
From a safety standpoint, it does for the citizens and for our law enforcement officers, it does create one of those issues where we're constantly looking at the stop and go, causing accidents.
The people in Harris Township, we're a community of about 6,000 residents. Most of our roads are local roads, and the speed limit on those roads are 25 miles an hour. So without the local use of radar, we have a terrible time trying to do any kind of speed enforcement, because what the police can use now, the VASCAR system, is very sensitive, and it doesn't work at speed limits that are below 25 and says you can't really cite until they're going 35. And in a residential neighborhood, 35 miles per hour is probably not appropriate. So we would really like to put this tool in our toolbox. We wouldn't use it to raise extra revenue. We would just use it to address existing problems that we're having with speeding within our community.
And I've been fighting for that for over 10 years now. One of the biggest concerns of all communities across the state, local, is speeding in their communities. So what I have done now, whenever I get a complaint from a community or neighborhood that says, hey, the speeding's an issue, I have them get on the phone and call our state representative. Put the pressure on them. Actually, she called me back and said, knock it off, I already support this. Local radar should be used. We're the only state in the nation that does not permit it. We allow our police officers to have a duty weapon, but we not allow them to have a radar gun. Totally asinine in this time.
For many, many years, as I said, we've been working to allow local police to use radar. We've had the Senate pass a bill probably for the last 3 sessions. What we need is the House now to pass a bill. House Bill 606 is currently in the House. It's available for consideration on the floor. We just need to get enough House members to agree that they will vote yes to if the bill should come up. So my suggestion is that every municipality in Pennsylvania needs to be getting a commitment from their House member to vote yes on House Bill 606.
The state passed a law that allowed, commercial aerial fireworks to be used in our communities, and it's really caused all kinds of problems. It's a public health issue, a public safety issue. Our firemen and police are running around chasing these fireworks. It's impossible to enforce this law. We need something to happen with that law. It's really a problem out there in the communities.
It allowed all kinds of folks to sell large kits of various types of fireworks. And some, frankly, should only be used by professionals. And so there are a lot of people, even young people, that aren't legally supposed to be able to purchase these things, that have these kits of fireworks and launch them night after night after night in communities and in neighborhoods. It disrupts people for sure, especially if it happens late at night or early in the morning hours. It disrupts our pets that are very sensitive to these loud noises and at unexpected times. And it really upsets and distresses our veterans, people who have post-traumatic stress issues, good people who served our country, who just want peace and quiet in their neighborhood. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, when they hear a loud bang going off, they may think that it's not fireworks, that it's something else. So these are all real issues in our community in South Central Pennsylvania. In my hometown of York, next door, there is a small borough, West York, where unfortunately a family did not dispose of the fireworks from one of these fireworks kits this past summer, and the improper use and improper disposal of those fireworks caused a fire. They lost their entire home. All the family was injured. One young child was killed in this terrible fire, and the other one was injured. So it's a terrible situation that's going on out there. Those things should be certainly preventable. And our friends in the fire and emergency services and in many other organizations are now coming forward and working together in a coalition to help educate the legislators that this is really about the quality of life in our neighborhoods, and we should allow local leaders to have some authority to control these noises and control this disruption that's taking place in our communities.
Well, the consumer use of fireworks has become a big issue. It's been an issue in Philadelphia. It's been an issue in cities all around the Commonwealth, especially during the pandemic. There seemed to be an increase in the number of fireworks used by people, and it's impacted the quality of life of so many people. For example, me, I have a child on the autism spectrum. I know people with young parents, people that have pets, people who have seniors, those who are veterans of post-traumatic stress disorder. It's really been an issue in our Commonwealth, and we need to have some ability to address it at the local level.
One of the issues that we, through the League, have been confronting over the last year, actually year and a half, has been the use of consumer fireworks. For many of us, particularly mayors of cities, they present as a significant issue because while we understand that the use is legal within our municipalities, there's really no safe zones to be able to launch these things. So in a place like the city of Pittston, there really isn't any place that you could legally use fireworks. You know, that being said, we've been advocating that the law needs to be revised. There are, we feel, flaws in the law that while making it legal, it doesn't provide us the coverage and the availability to be able to enforce that type of situation in the city. It increases demands on our police department. So we're looking collectively at some reform, which again, I think we all like fireworks, but we want them to be used in a safe and realistic manner.
Consumer use of fireworks in the city of Lancaster is a danger to every resident and property owner in the city, and it needs to end. And we've been advocating very strongly with Senator Yaw and others about the need to have flexibility and the need to, quite frankly, ban them in the city of Lancaster, because there is no place that's 150 feet away from any occupied structure that is privately owned, and so they need to go.
Municipal, obviously, for every municipality, town, and borough throughout the Commonwealth. We've had numerous fireworks issues. It's dangerous, obviously, for not just those that are lighting off the fireworks, but also for those that are around and live around the residential areas that they're being set off. There's no place in the city of Williamsport, or really probably any municipality for that matter, where you can safely set off fireworks within a residential area. You know, it's just, you know, the code doesn't allow it. So, you know, we are pressuring and keeping pressure on in Williamsport and with the League also on the folks in Harrisburg to please address the local use of fireworks.
Yeah, technically, no fireworks should be shot off in the city of Erie because of rules that we have, but especially around the 4th of July, even into the wee hours of the morning, you hear fireworks going off. A lot of it is in park areas, which still is illegal in the city. It's too close to houses. That it shouldn't be done anywhere, but there is a lot of it. I get a lot of complaints about it. Our police, of course, are overwhelmed. They try to respond as much as possible. And we've actually, the last two, we've had a group of policemen who just went around trying to catch people doing fireworks and write them a ticket.
The worst thing the state did was pass that new law with fireworks. We've had so many complaints in our township about the fireworks, the noise, the setting off continuously. Whereas before it was more low key. We knew they did it on July 4th and the residents were okay with that. But now with the openness of these fireworks, I think the state did it for a hurry up, for a money grab, and we're putting pressure on them now to repeal what they did. And many people don't know this, but this falls under the Secretary of Agriculture, fireworks, to enforce. So our police are really handcuffed. They have to see the individual, they could go out and measure if they're far enough away, and a lot of times by the time they get there, it's already over. So yes, we need to repeal that fireworks.
But we certainly have had complaints from pet owners and such in terms of the effect of fireworks on our pets. That's absolutely true.
We've had incidents of fires, deaths, injuries, just general annoyance at their constant use over the summer months, and it's time to do something about it. And we are working hard in both the House and the Senate to try to find an avenue forward to make substantial amendments, if not repeal, to the legislation. We suggest that every community be talking to their House and Senate member about the problems they have in their inability to enforce this law, the costs it has brought to local government, and to be making sure their constituents know that this has to come from the bottom up, that House and Senate members need to hear from both municipalities and their residents about this problem in order for us to fix it.
And in my particular town has a big problem with that because we're pretty small, and so we can have people in a neighboring township actually firing fireworks off that are exploding into the borough. It was one of those things that was looked as a free enterprise. People ought to be able to, sell these things if they want. Consumers should be able to have access to them. And unfortunately, I don't think people realize the abundant utilization many members would have in their districts. So I think it's one of those things we're going to have to go revisit, whether it's complete revocation. I don't necessarily see that, but allowing municipalities to set some pretty stringent conditions. And hopefully people will be respectful and only use these on certain days throughout the year, more as a ceremonial thing than a form of entertainment on a day-to-day basis.
Issues such as allowing local police to use radar and amending the consumer fireworks law are both examples of ideas that split along regional lines and not party affiliation. These types of debates often take time as solutions and compromises are discussed that bring additional voices to the table and often end with an outcome that all parties involved can agree on. The work on these important topics is ongoing, and I encourage you to stay in contact with your state representatives and senators to ensure the position of your community is involved in that process. I want to thank the Municipal League for their important work and appreciate you including me in your program this evening.
The American Rescue Plan Act is something we worked extensively on with our partners at the National League of Cities starting in 2020 and coming into 2021, and we were thrilled to be successful. It's major infusion of dollars to help our communities get through the pandemic. We haven't seen something like this in decades, and we probably won't in decades, so we want to help our folks use it wisely, but it can have a great impact on our municipalities and certainly make them economically viable again.
We're talking about the largest federal investment directly to local communities that's taken place in decades. And this was an incredible investment for our communities, and they're allowed to use it for very specific things. They're allowed to use it, of course, to help replace funds in areas of their municipality that were impacted by the pandemic. They're allowed to use it for certain infrastructure projects like sewer and water. They're allowed to use it to help with public safety. All important issues during the pandemic for sure, but important throughout. So it's a great opportunity for local government to make decisions on how to best use those dollars. And most local mayors, township commissioners, borough officials, and so forth throughout the Commonwealth are really taking a good hard look at this and what are their local priorities. They're asking their citizens what they think to get some community engagement, and then they're making decisions on what they think is best that fits under the guidelines that have come down from the United States Department of Treasury. So this is a very exciting time for local government to be able to work with the rescue dollars, and hopefully we'll soon have an infrastructure bill that passes the Congress, and we'll be able to do more to invest in our roads and our bridges, our highways, our airports, and even more with sewer and water as well.
The bill and the subsequent guidance gave local leaders like each of you significant flexibility. We finally got the message about making it more flexible so that you could direct resources to where they will do the most good for your municipality, your communities. Funds can be used, for example, to address negative economic impacts, also to offer hazard pay to essential workers, and to continue critical services by replacing lost revenue, as well as to invest in infrastructure. As you know, in Pennsylvania, we've already had so much by way of a challenge when it came to the COVID-19 pandemic. And yet, because of these more flexible and really substantial dollars, cities and communities across the state, cities and towns, I should say, are getting help out the door very quickly, so that you can use it for transit or helping a small business or keeping the public sector workers employed. We know that we have more to do and a long way to go yet before we can put this pandemic behind us. And in the meantime, we also have to make sure that we get those rescue dollars out the door, continue to get dollars out the door from Washington and then from state and local government into the hands of businesses and families that need help.
I'm so proud that we delivered $65.1 billion in necessary aid through the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. Never has that happened in the history of America, that you as local leaders can make that decision. It is best for your community. And that means more than $3.3 billion in flexible federal relief is coming to municipalities in Pennsylvania. These dollars are going to fuel your cities, towns in achieving what you need, identifying those gaps. So I want you to put a plan together so when those dollars do start coming, that you fund those gaps that are existing in your community. Now, we haven't stopped working. The infrastructure bill is still on the docket, and we're going to fight for bipartisan infrastructure investment for jobs, for infrastructure, and we're going to work hard to make sure that municipalities understand that we are the ones who are going to be leading these projects and making sure that package reflect the interest of cities, towns, and villages.
The American Rescue Plan has been a real godsend. Many cities had major impacts from the pandemic from an economic perspective. We lost a lot of revenue because people were not able to open, businesses were not able to open, and so a lot of local jurisdictions had some real challenges financially. Having the American Rescue Plan include local municipalities to be able to receive resources directly has had a real impact in helping us to get through our general fund and provide the goods and services to our constituents.
The ARP funds are going to be well used, and they're well needed. We do have to cover lost expenses from the last 2 years, and we do have a lot of infrastructure projects that need, a lot of them are underground, but still we're gonna promote them. We're also in the next couple weeks going to have a meeting with the community to get their ideas and feedback, and also educate them as to how the funds can be used and cannot be used, how they're going to be audited and really scrutinized. So it means a lot for us. We're slated to get $40 million. So we look forward to doing these, doing certain projects that we wouldn't be able to do otherwise.
Obviously, it has a tremendous impact. It has the opportunity to address a couple infrastructure projects that we simply haven't been able to address so far, particularly with regard to stormwater runoff and the issues of the environment.
We're going to use those funds really to do projects that have been challenging for us, and the most obvious one is storm and stormwater and sewerage separation. We're an older city, so we have some issues that we still need to direct and correct. So we're going to direct 100% of our funds towards infrastructure improvement.
It's certainly something that's going to help us get over this pandemic. The city of Easton, we lost over $6 million in revenue last year. We had to balance our budget. We had to put people on furloughs. 81 city employees were out of work. It'll help us get our cities back post-pandemic.
The summer that we had with rain events and stormwater being one of the areas where municipalities can invest those ARP dollars, that's an area that we're looking to make those infrastructure improvements. We're also looking to empower our land bank with some funds and resources to be able to sort of act as a developer in the city and build new housing stock, new townhomes, that sort of thing, because housing stock is definitely an issue in the city. So, we're trying to attract young families, and, we need the housing stock there to be able to do that.
But recently we just had our second budget working session related to the rescue plan, and it's going to be transformational in Williamsport. Obviously for us it's the levee in Williamsport, so we're looking to get our levee recertified, recreational, public safety, public works. So the rescue plan dollars are going to be very beneficial and very transformational for Williamsport.
My department was responsible for the distribution of the $983 million that went to the local governments. The Treasury recommendations are really important to follow, but a lot of really good projects can be done. When you look at sewer and water and broadband and outdoor recreation and, multi-municipal stuff, planning, we've not seen this amount of investment at a local level since the New Deal, so we can't just squander this. I know it's important to fill funding gaps, but I also believe that it's really important to invest in our future. How has the pandemic changed our communities? Are we afraid of how it changed our communities, or are we embracing it? Are we looking at the opportunities to update our zoning codes and zoning ordinance to address empty office space, multi-use facilities? How can you use the tools that you have to see the change that you want in your downtowns? Or are you being passive and just waiting for the owners of those large office buildings to come in for reassessment and get their assessment lower? Are you waiting for, those employees that used to fill the downtown every day to come back? I doubt that's going to happen. Are we being aggressive in, what we want our communities to look like? Going into the pandemic, it was funny. When I was mayor, it was always the shopping malls are going to kill main streets. They almost succeeded. They really did almost succeed. But guess what? How's your local shopping mall doing? Those investments now are being made in main streets. There are actually places building fake main streets. Well, guess what? We have the real thing. Main Street USA and Disneyland is an attraction, and it's a built environment. We have that naturally. How are you looking at your zoning to make it what you want it to be in the future? How many of you heard that the 1950s, the 1960s, the 1970s were the golden years of your community? I bet every one of you have heard a different version of that. Oh, back in 1960, we needed a traffic guard just for the amount of people in our downtown. We're approaching the 250th year of our country. Think about China, think about Europe, think about, different places around the world and how old they are. The one thing I said the other day was, do you think people in London are standing around going, back in the year 1250, this place was really jumping? What's our opportunity there? Do you think people in Rome are standing outside the Colosseum going, wow, this is a really blighted structure, what are we going to do? Or do you think they're saying, back in 32, are our people, are our citizens encouraging their children and their grandchildren to stay in the community where they're growing up? Or is the opposite happening? Are our citizens telling their children and grandchildren, you got to get out, you got to go somewhere else? If the answer is the latter, we're doing something wrong as leaders. What is the community that we want it to look like so that our grandchildren want to grow up there, so that we can babysit them? We can't keep encouraging people to leave. We need to fix what's wrong.
Municipalities can work together
Normally, we think that once a community has received the American Rescue Plan funds, that those funds are for that particular municipality. True. However, that does not mean that they can't work with other municipalities, especially if they're neighboring municipality, with regards to a project that's going to impact both municipalities.
As the president of the State Association of Township Commissioners and a commissioner from Hampton Township in Cumberland County, it is a great honor to join League President Derek Green in welcoming everyone here in person and remotely to the second annual Pennsylvania Municipal Leaders Summit, a joint venture between the Pennsylvania Municipal League and the Township Commissioners Association. Our two organizations have many issues in common, like unfunded mandates, like prevailing wage, which adds on to the cost of construction projects. And oftentimes we have to perform our duties like traffic enforcement with one hand tied behind our back. And we have many needs as it comes to maintaining, let alone improving our roadways, all the while facing staffing challenges like recruiting and retaining firefighters. On top of all this, we faced a global pandemic that has forced us to change the way we operate and interact with the public. With that said, this summit affords us an invaluable opportunity to come together and learn from one another in order to better serve those that put us in these positions.
We've worked with the Pennsylvania Municipal League for years. They serve as our secretariat, so when we put on our meetings, they're working with us. They help us with our lobbying efforts and such, so we've had a long-standing relationship with the League. But it made sense to join forces in terms of our joint conference, which is now the summit. Last year was the first joint summit, which was a virtual only during the COVID time period. This is going to be their first year in person, which has a hybrid component as well. But overall, we thought it would be best to join forces so that we can attract the top speakers. And more importantly, as we're getting together, we can learn from each other. It's so very important to come together and see what another municipality. We're all facing a lot of the similar challenges in terms of infrastructure, unfunded mandates, and the such, and to talk about what another municipalities or another city or a township is doing on those fronts. It's you bring that back to your own township and you can implement some of those. Not everything, but you can certainly kick the tires on some of these ideas. And it's I found it worthwhile during the course of my tenure as a commissioner.
This organization is at the forefront of trying to do everything it can to help municipalities. We partner with township managers, we partner with other commissioners to do what we have to do in our areas and at the state level. There's East, Central, and West, and the state level. And partnering with PML gives us the opportunity to present the best conference we can to the people that attend the conference, to educate them and put them on the right track for being the best being the best commissioner they can for their township and serve their constituents well.
My message is first to share our great partnership with Pennsylvania Municipal League. I'm with Sustainable Pittsburgh, and we're excited to be sharing the new version of our Sustainable Pennsylvania program for municipalities. So today I'm going to unveil that and for the launch on December 8th. So we're excited about the new launch of the program.
What will that mean for communities?
It will mean new access to tools and resources for their journey towards improving sustainability. It provides them with an opportunity to produce reports and just to have better information so that they can better be equipped to take action on sustainability, improve their climate mitigation, improve social equity, and generally improve their communities.
Our Business Leaders Network has been very important to us. We've engaged the private sector to really become more intimate with us, if you will, and it's really brought some great benefits to our members. Certainly there's a sponsorship issue, but what we have them do is training sessions and participate to a great extent. And we have found it to be invaluable to our folks to open up communication lines, to see if they have products and services that make sense for them. Our Business Leaders Network members have taken advantage of that, and our municipal members have taken advantage of it.
We're going to recognize one of our outstanding Business Leader Network members with the 2021 Community Partnership Award. Our business leaders are with us throughout the summit, so please thank them for their support of the League. Let's give them a hand. And as you can see based on the screen, the business leaders provide many cost savings for solutions for us as members of the Pennsylvania Municipal League, and that we can bring back to our constituents. This year's Community Partnership Award recipient is AT&T. AT&T has worked closely with us during the Act 50 wireless facilities debate, and they've been champions of our first responders with their first net technology tools. Please welcome Dave Kerr and his team. He's the Vice President of External Affairs, to accept the award.
AT&T has been a part of the Business Leaders Network for close to a decade right now, and it's been a great partnership. We very much enjoy the opportunity to interact and work with the League on policy issues, as well as the members on various initiatives.
What's your recommendation to other businesses across the Commonwealth about becoming members of the Business Leader Network?
Anybody who does interaction or business with the Pennsylvania Municipal League or with municipalities throughout the Commonwealth, municipalities large and small, should be members of the Pennsylvania Municipal League. It's been a great experience for us. It provides us access, opportunity to communicate with members of the League, again, large and small. It's been a great experience for us.
The Business Leader Network brings immeasurable value to our firm in working with the other business leaders and working with the League itself and the League members, and just working on various issues together, and also, frankly, helping our business, helping us network and meet potential clients, and all across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. It sort of brings a synergy to the whole, our whole business.
Our firm is represented on the Business Leaders Network through Benetcon. Benetcon has been a Business Leader Network member for approximately 6 years now. The value that we have found is the ability to network with many of our existing clients, as well as the opportunity to prospect with potential members with the Pennsylvania Municipal Health Insurance Co-op.
Our firm has been members of the Business Leaders Network for over 10 years now. And it has a great value to us. It really lets us know what's going on in local municipalities across Pennsylvania and connect with them on a different level.
We've been a member of the Business Leaders Network for approximately 10 years. We find it very invaluable in engaging with the membership of the Pennsylvania Municipal League. It gives an extra layer of trust as we're going out to talk to the different communities, and really have helped us to grow our business with the municipalities.
Our company has been a member of the Business Leaders Network for quite some time. We've been going back years and years and feel it's a very good partnership that we've had with the PA Municipal League.
I think the value of being in the Business Leaders is the access to all of these municipalities that have so many varied interests, but at the core have the same interests, and being able to network with them and learn how they're solving their problems and addressing their problems and their challenges. And I think we all learn from it, and it's a very valuable thing that the League provides.
We just rejoined the Business Leaders Network after an over 10-year hiatus. It's wonderful to be back, as invaluable to our business, our industry. The interaction with the Municipal League leaders and all the staff is just excellent, and really pays benefits, and we're certainly glad to be back home.
So we're now about to move into a special presentation as part of this League Summit opening ceremony. This morning, the Board of Directors unanimously approved the renaming of the League's nonprofit entity, the Richard J. Schuettler Center for Municipal Development. The purpose, we can give a clap. So for some of you who were not in the board meeting, this is probably new news. The purpose of the center is to assist local elected and appointed officials in obtaining the knowledge and leadership skills necessary to meet the challenges of their office, and provide a forum from which urban policy issues can be debated, formulated, and communicated through such means as training, research papers, and educational publications. Rick, we are happy to announce that a few of your friends throughout the Commonwealth and around the nation have pitched in to create an endowment for the center in your honor. Today, we are happy to present to you the total pledges to date, and we have a big check here for $53,000. Now, our goal is not to stop just with this. We want to make sure that we get to our total goal of $250,000 for the endowment. And starting right now, pledge forms are available on the League website and on the Wahova app. The contributions are tax deductible as allowed by law. If you have any questions about making a pledge or need further information, contact John Brenner or Susan Helms. We also have forms like this for you to make a donation to what we're now going to call the RJS Center. Now it is my privilege to introduce the man of the hour, our Executive Director for the Pennsylvania Municipal League, Rick Schuettler. Rick has provided a steady hand of leadership throughout the pandemic and has guided us through 8 successful and outstanding years as our Executive Director. We have expanded our training, increased membership, improved our technology, invested in our headquarters, strengthened our finances, and advanced our legislative priorities in the Capitol. Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Schuettler.
Thank you. What a great honor. I must tell you, I did not know that any of that was going to happen. And the fact that there's $53,000 raised is amazing, and it'll go to a great cause, which is to further local government, and I appreciate it very, very much. I can't thank you all enough. The honor, the privilege, and the pleasure has been all mine. Thank you.
We're building a playground. This is our second day. We're going to be here tomorrow as well. And this is a wonderful playground, Milburn Park, right here in inner city Lancaster. It's about 10 blocks from the Hotel and Convention Center, where we'll be for the annual Municipal Leadership Summit. We started doing these projects in 2010, and we've been doing them every year since then, all over the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So we're in Lancaster again for our conference. We usually do it a day before the conference, but this year, because of the pandemic, we spread it out over 3 days.
Tell us, why is the Municipal League and mayors and municipal officials from all over participating in this project?
Well, they participate because they know how important playgrounds are to the community and to the neighborhood. They know that it's all about the children, giving them a safe, clean place to play, and playgrounds are just a wonderful place where all of us, of all ages, can gather with our kids. So it's really all about the neighborhood. I'm kind of a jack of all trades, so they move me around, but I've been doing a lot of mulching. And this morning we helped to set everything up. And yesterday we had multiple tasks back here as well. So you're going to see the swings go up here in a little while. The beginning of the actual play structure is going to start to come together. But the big day is tomorrow. And there'll be apparently several more truckloads of mulch arriving for us to work on tomorrow.
This is a park that was overdue for a refresh, and we decided we were going to do it once and we're going to do it right. So we were fortunate enough to be awarded a grant through DCNR for a little bit under $84,000, and the city has matched that 100% between cash and in-kind contributions like the city staff and equipment that you see here today helping build this park. This is the first step. We're replacing all the play equipment. Later on throughout the fall into the spring of next year, we'll also be doing sort of an overall refresh of the park, new walkways, lot of new trees that are going to go in, just a lot of general beautification and improvement of the park so that we can really take this little pocket park and create, kind of restore it back to the jewel that it was at one point in this section of the city. Without the Pennsylvania Municipal League, this would not be what you see here today. They aided with coordinating volunteer efforts. They aided with coordinating the liaising between Kaboom and the city of Lancaster, and really just was the tip of the spear in terms of making sure that this came to reality. All the play equipment that you've seen here was looked at by a lot of local kids, and they decided what they wanted here and what they wanted to be able to play on, how they wanted to be able to use the park. So we designed it accordingly, and that's the end game, is making sure that we have the right park that the community wants and needs. I'm humbled. And I'm very, very enthusiastic. It's just a great effort and a great outpouring of support, not only for the city of Lancaster, what we're trying to do with our park system, but for this local community as well.
We have approximately 15 volunteers from the Giant Company today, and we're here to help build a playground for Lancaster City. The Giant Company is focused on the community, and Giant pays our volunteers in order to give back to the community. So we really thought it would be a great idea to get involved to help build a playground for the children in our area. The children of Lancaster City, the ones in the neighborhood here, are going to benefit from this. My personal job right now is laying mulch on the ground here to get prepared for the playgrounds to be built. I have many volunteers here that are putting together the actual playground pieces as well. I just think about, how much it's going to really impact the children here in Lancaster. I'm from this area, so just being able to see children that maybe not have a playground in their backyard have one built from the ground up is really important.
I have been working on one of the actual playground pieces, and I had done some gravel stone. I love it. It's really, really fun. Really fun. I'm all about helping the community as well, my own personal reasoning, so definitely a good thing for me. I'm a mother of 2 kids, so I was actually thinking about bringing my kids to this park anyway before this was even built or even thought of. So it's nice to see that something that I pertained in and that I participated in, my kids can see what I can do.
I'm volunteering because Giant offers a wonderful program for associates to give back to the community, and it's a great opportunity to do that. I have been mulching, I've been putting together swing sets, I've been checking depth on holes. I think it's fantastic. This is going to be huge for the community and the children in the area. I think this is a great project. I think it's incredible that local mayors are coming to volunteer as part of this project.
I volunteered because personally myself, I was a victim of domestic violence, and Lancaster has done many, many things for me. So I would love to do for them because they were with me at one point in time when I was downhill. So I appreciate them. My job's been putting mulch in barrels so people can carry to throw in the park. That's basically been my job all day. And at the beginning, doing the rocks for the cement. I think it's amazing that the community can get together. Everybody loves everybody. Everybody enjoys what they're doing. So to me, it's an amazing thing that we still could all get together like a family and work with each other in the community. The mayors being here, it's a big difference because you can realize they're human beings too. They're taking care of our families, they're taking care of the community, and not only just doing what mayors do. So it's a really sweet thing what they're doing. I appreciate them with the bottom of my heart. It's just amazing to know that my grandchildren will have a park to play, other little kids will get fun and enjoyment, no doubt.
Just been trying to do a little bit of everything and help as many people out as I can and just get this thing built up. Shoveling mulch, wheeling wheelbarrows, helping bring playground equipment to different sides of the playground just as much as I can. I think the mayor's being here is very beneficial, and it helps to establish the fact that they are caring and they do want to be here, and they do want the community to have an outlet where the kids can go and have fun and relax and just be kids.
To help the community out, it's always nice to be able to help, especially down here in the city. It's nice, it's nice that there are so many people willing to help the community out. I think it's pretty nice that the Municipal League is helping out to the community as well. It shows everybody else in the community that there really is people that still care about the community and helping out.
We couldn't do this project without the great volunteers, and a lot of the volunteers come not only from the neighborhood but also from our sponsors. So we want to have a big shout out to Giant, the Giant Company. They've been here every day. They also provide the water and the refreshments for the volunteers, which is great. Highmark, Penn State Health, the Lancaster Community Foundation,
and a whole host of other elected officials and appointed officials from throughout Pennsylvania will be here tomorrow as well. This is our final day, day 3 of our Kaboom Pennsylvania Municipal League playground build here at Milburn Park in Lancaster. We're very excited, the final day. Lots of great volunteers, lots of sponsors. Today we're going to finish assembling the play structure. So you'll see posts and decks. You'll see lots of other attachments to the main structure, including 3 sliding boards that are double sliding boards and some other cool stuff for the kids to play on. There's also a Wee Saw, which is a multiple seesaw. Multiple kids can be on it at one time. We're finishing that. We'll finish installing the swings, and we're going to throw a lot of mulch on this final day.
Well, this is an outstanding way to kick off the 122nd Annual Summit for the Pennsylvania Municipal League right here at Milburn Park in Lancaster. We do these things every year when we have our annual summit. Now, because of the pandemic, things have been a little more challenging, but to be able to be here in Lancaster, right downtown in the city, to have volunteers, a lot of our supporters and funders to help us really help raise our neighborhood by bringing this park and really leaving an impact. So when we leave from the summit on Saturday, we've made an investment right here in the community. Well, that's one of the great things about the Pennsylvania Municipal League. We have mayors and council members from all around the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and to have an opportunity to come together collectively and give back to a community where we spend time for a summit really is something that helps us to really benefit and demonstrate the community service that we do not only as elected officials, but as an organization like the Pennsylvania Municipal League.
We're doing what we've been doing for 15 years now, which is going to our annual summit and preceding that, helping our members, the communities, rehabilitate a park in their communities. And we're really thrilled to be able to do it with our partners at Kaboom and Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. It's been a great initiative for us and really great for our members to participate in this. The first one was in the city of Bethlehem, and it really was it was born out of a National League of Cities thing that they had done in New Orleans, and John Brenner, the director designate, got a hold of it and said, you know what, maybe we could do this. And so we talked to Kaboom and said, yeah, let's try and do it. Talked to DCNR, said, let's do it, and here we are. Bethlehem, Pittsburgh, Lebanon, Harrisburg, all have Ferguson Township, State College. We've done all of them around the Commonwealth, and it's really been something our members have embraced and really enjoy helping out a fellow member. It's part of our mission. It's part of who we are and what we do, which is to strengthen, empower, and advocate for effective local government. And what better way to do that was to bring recreational facilities into their community.
Pennsylvania Municipal League is an incredible partner. We've worked with them for several years building playgrounds, but they not only provide the funding power for the project, but they also bring in other partners that get an opportunity to be a part of the project, both with volunteer labor as well as funding power. So it's a huge fan of the league, and really excited that we get to continue working with them on play spaces like this. We have 6 pallets of concrete we're mixing today, 285 cubic yards of the engineered wood fiber, or the mulch you see everybody moving. The playground is about a 5,000 square foot playground. So all of that, just once we have those measurements down, is how we determine how much materials we need. We built 4 picnic tables in addition to the playground, so we also ordered those materials and took care of those on our other build days. The number one way that kids get hurt on playgrounds is by falls, and falls to incorrect or improper safety surfacing. So what we're moving in here today is engineered wood fiber, and it's specially cut to make sure that it is impact attenuating. So when kids do fall, it helps make sure that they're not getting as injured. So it's really important that all that engineered wood fiber comes in. It's not just regular mulch in here. So we'll put in 15 inches today that'll compact down to 12 and make sure that when the kids do fall off the playground, they will have a safe and softer landing. We think play is a right, and we're really focused on equity when we're providing play spaces, and we can't stop our work at Kaboom until every kid has access to a great play space like the one we've been building here at Milburn Park. It's incredibly important. We've also seen the impact that COVID has had on kids over the last year, and I think it's even more important now that kids have a great, safe place that they can go to and play on.
Today I've been helping out back here with the platform, and now I've shifted my attention over here to help out assembling these slides because it looked like they needed some help putting those together. So I thought I should come over and offer a hand. Yeah, it's just nice knowing that we've been able to leave our mark on the communities that we visit for these summits, and to just leave a positive impact in the neighborhoods and in these cities.
Penn State Health is involved with a collaboration with Highmark for many, many years. We are very dedicated to the health and well-being of the children of our county, as well as having opportunities for them to play in safe areas. Sure, I think if anything we've learned from COVID is that opportunity to get outside and play. And there's been many studies that have shown that it contributes to the overall well-being of our children.
Well, Highmark's been very involved in the community for years. We're a company that's been around for 75 years. And, quite frankly, the city of Lancaster, the county of Lancaster is very important to Highmark, and our commitment to this community is very important as well. And supporting the League of Cities and Municipalities is a key part of this process in building this park. And then obviously, most importantly, is providing this type of a resource to the community at large. As you'll see walking in behind me are kids, and they deserve a great place to be able to play.
Well, DCNR supports access to urban recreation, and through our grant program we provide technical assistance to build playgrounds like this in partnership with Kaboom, the City of Lancaster, and urban places all over the Commonwealth. The Pennsylvania Municipal League has been an excellent partner for the past 11 years. We are super excited to join them in this project, and we've done several others throughout the Commonwealth. And what we do is we assist them with our grant program and the Kaboom and PA Municipal League to provide the capacity and funding to support projects like this.
And I just want to tell you a little bit about a very special person that you all have been saying her name, which is Milburn. Violet Milburn is the woman for whom this park is named after. And she lived in this neighborhood and was known for her love of children. And she was known as Grandma to many. In fact, I was talking to somebody today and I said, yes, her name Violet. And they were like, she said, I never even knew what her first name was because we always just called her Grandma. This is part of upholding her legacy, is this gift that you all have given. And also very, very special today is to have 3 of her family members here. And I just would like for you to come out here, please. Mrs. Shelby, Miss Shelby, Miss Tiffany, and Mr. Weeks. So these are her grandchildren. This is her legacy. And I am so proud to call Tiffany a colleague at the City of Lancaster, and we are really grateful to have her. 1, 2, 3. Yay!
My grandmother, foster mom, was Violet Milburn. She took me in when I was 1 year old. And she raised me for years. I worked with her in people's homes, and she cleaned people's houses. She'd take me along. She did block parties for the kids in the neighborhood. She got donations from companies all over Lancaster, Coca-Cola, Kunzler's. She helped feed homeless people. She did a lot for the community. It's awesome. It's just deserving. She would love this. This would be a dream for her, for this to happen and to be. She probably wouldn't want it in her name per se, but just that the kids could be here and play in a safe place. She would love that.
As the CEO of Boys and Girls Club, we're super excited about this park. This means there's going to be a safe place for kids to play. It's going to be well lit. The equipment is safe. We're excited about the new feature here in the Southeast. There's so many kids that live in this neighborhood right now. We have a Boys and Girls Club here. We serve over 100 kids in a day, so there could be upwards of 100 kids participating on this wonderful park behind me on any given day. We're very, very excited about it.
Well, what goes through my mind is the fact that we've been able to really add value to a city, and so that we've got neighbors here volunteering, and that they'll see the impact that the Pennsylvania Municipal League made right here in Lancaster, and that children and others will enjoy this playground for years based on our investment over these past couple of days.
How can people get more information about the league?
Well, they can always go to our website and learn more about the Pennsylvania Municipal League. Every city in the Commonwealth can benefit by being a member of the league, and we encourage all of our cities to get involved with the Pennsylvania Municipal League. It's a great way to get information and resources that you can bring back to your cities and improve your cities and also the lives of your constituents.
We're the closest to the people in local government. I think that we're the most effective with their tax dollars, and we affect their lives in so much more of an everyday basis than the state and federal government do. So just remember that. It's the local policeman who works for your community. The people are going to put your fire out at your house do. The code enforcement, streets, public works, all that is all funded at the local level. And so just keep that in mind.
How can people get more information about the league?
Our website, pml.org, and we put out, we're constantly putting out information, communicating with our members, but go to pml.org, it's all there.